One of the things that you hear most frequently from Israel's defenders is that it has a right to exist. And I think this phrase is really important to think about. One of my heroes is the Orthodox Jewish Israeli philosopher Yeshayahu Leibovitz. And Leibovitz was very explicit about this. Leibovitz said, Israel has no right to exist because no state has a right to exist. States are instruments. States are instruments to protect human life and to allow for human flourishing. Leibovitz came at this from a theological perspective as an Orthodox Jew. It was very clear to him that the only thing that was created in the image of God were human beings. This is the point that Abraham Joshua Heschel made very clearly as well. When speaking about idolatry, Heschel made the point that to see anything as created in the image of God other than the human being, whether it's a building or a statue or a tree or a star, any of that as idolatrous, because the only thing, according to Torah, that is created in the image of God is the human being. And so what Leibovitz was saying was, when you see an inherent value in states beyond their instrumental value, you are imagining that they have a value in and above the value of the human beings who reside within those states. And that is idolatry, because it makes them sacred and it places their value above the lives of the human beings who live within that state. And it is the human beings, not the state, that is created in the image of God. And that's why I think that much of the establishment Jewish discourse about Israel has become, in Leibovitz's terms, idolatrous. Because this phrase, right to exist, is again and again used as a way of essentially trumping the value of the people who live within this territory and saying, no, I'm not going to take moral responsibility for what is being done to those people who live under the control of the state of Israel, half of whom are Palestinian, because the rights of the state trump the rights of those individuals. And that is to make the state an idol. And that is what Leibovitz saw as a grave, grave sin. It is important to remember that idolatry is just about the most serious sin there is in Judaism. It's one of only three that you cannot perform even at risk of death. The Talmud says that opposing idolatry is the very definition of being a Jew. And that's why I think it's so important to understand the idolatry that is crept in to Jewish discussion of Israel and to oppose that idolatry.